Running a Fever, Episode 15. Do you love your life enough to make it last as long as possible? Welcome to the show. It's Monday. I have just this morning passed the exam that I've been studying for. Got 3 of these certifications, and really I've been working on them, studying. Most of my non-working time, has been spent in this pursuit for the last couple of months. And I am really relieved. I enjoy the material and everything. I like my work and my job, but I don't necessarily like to do that kind of thing all the time with lots of my spare time. So it's good to be, I'm very relieved to be done with that, and I'm going to be doing some more enjoyable things, like tonight I will start processing and producing the last week's worth of podcasts that I have recorded, which is something I like to do, and I'm looking forward to find out how they turned out, because a lot of these I have not listened to since I recorded them much at all. I have been lately taking some time in the morning to reflect, if you will. One of the things that came to me this morning is this simple. I talked yesterday about how running is one of those things that I really enjoy, but it's easy to set aside and just not do. And there are several of those things in my life that I have just not taken the initiative to just make sure that I continually do. The question that came to mind is, do I love my life enough to make it last as long as possible? I've talked to some people who are just not really, they don't really care that much about living a long life. Maybe they are looking at, something beyond the physical world, and maybe they're looking toward an afterlife, or maybe they just are just okay and don't crave time in life, I guess. And then there are people who just the opposite. They want to live as long as they possibly can. I feel that way. But when I think of it in those terms, do I love my life enough to make it last as long as possible? It makes me think about how satisfied am I with my life, or the process of living my life. And I think it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm just really happy all the time, but it means that I'm looking forward. I'm hopeful to the things that would be better, and I'm happy about the things that are good now. I've always been the kind of person who's always really just looking forward and hoping for something better. Try to make that happen when I can. And so I really want to live as long as I can. And it makes me feel good to be working out every day, because I feel like I am extending my life when I do that. So here we are at the familiar running grounds. We will go out and see what we can do, what I can do to extend my life today. It was raining earlier today, and kind of looks like it's going to rain now, but it didn't rain, so I have no excuse not to be here. Only one vehicle other than mine in this parking lot, so maybe it won't be that crowded right now. We'll see. Well, it does look pretty quiet so far. I did have to get out my phone and try to record something, although it seems it's just as windy as it was yesterday, so I don't think And welcome to Driving a Fever. So, once again, it is too windy on the trail to really record using the current setup that I have. Now, I'm just I want to give you some hope. If you really, hopefully you like the show and you want to hear it clearly and hear more of it and hear it while I'm actually working out, which is what I want to do. That being the case, I am in the process of purchasing some more equipment that will hopefully make this easier. I've communicated with the Zen Runner, and I found another podcast called The Walk by Father Roderick from the Netherlands, and he records while he's walking, and I think he may be using just a regular microphone like you might use in a studio or on stage. Anyway, got to talk to him, just trying to get as many opinions as possible. There's GoPro stuff that will allow me theoretically to record video, which probably wouldn't be as interesting the way I'm doing things now, but if I go to different areas, it might provide a change of scenery. Or it would just provide you with something to watch if you listen on your computer. But I think most people, listen to podcasts, they want to do it while they're doing something else. Although on your computer you can, read your email or play a game or something while you're listening. More energy today, not as bad as the last 2 days. The last 2 days have been really tough. Today it was a little easier. Almost ran a second time, but I didn't. I've just sort of taken it easy. But I did have a pretty good pace. It got very dark toward the end with the clouds and everything, and I'm just considering the fact that a cyclist who is just as stupid as I am and doesn't have any lights or anything could run right into me, and that could hurt us both pretty bad. So I don't want that to happen, and I need to get some reflective gear. I will probably be running in the morning for the next few days, just because now that I'm not studying all night, I have plenty of errands I need to run. And tonight I'm even going to have to go out after I get showered to get some food, because I'm out of food. That's how much I've been devoted and focused on this thing. But I ran more than a quarter mile. I tend to kind of look ahead and see and pick a point of reference ahead of me and say, well, I'm going to run to this point and set that as my goal. Because if I don't, it doesn't work. I need to have a goal. So I did that today, just like the corner of a fence. It was, probably 50 yards, maybe 75 yards, not even 100 yards past the quarter mile point. But it was a little more, and I could definitely see myself running a half mile pretty soon. And, I'm not doing too badly because, it's only been about a week since I set my goal. And my goal, I've got a year to achieve it. So 52 weeks. I did some of the math. Well, it's not too hard to do the math, but 52 weeks, and I'm doing a quarter mile. If I increase by a quarter mile a week, then I'll be up to 13 miles. And again, I don't think I'll be running that every day. The point being that I'll be fit enough to do that run in a single day. If I do it before November 18th of 2018, that'll be great. My whole total distance was more than 2.5 miles by the markings on the course. And what I'm putting in the blog posts is taken directly from the gear fit, or from the software on my phone. And I'm using the automatic start feature. I'm not manually saying, okay, I'm starting my exercise now. I'm letting the watch sense when I'm starting. So I'm sure there's a lag in that, and that's probably why I've been seeing distances that are not really that aren't really as far as I'm actually traveling. Again, figuring out these things as I go and trying to change and trying to learn and just trying to make the journey, trying to get to the destination, which is physical fitness. And I want to thank you for coming along with me, and I'm looking forward to much more of this. So I'll see you next time. I'll talk to you next time. Till then, keep the fever.
You're listening to the Padua Podcasts Network, PaduaMedia.com.